Hi, and welcome to the Heartmoor podcast. It's been a long while since I last recorded a podcast. I think it was last October, and I'm feeling a little nervous. Just going to put that out there right at the beginning. Let me introduce myself and then I'll just do some little backgroundy stuff. My name is Stacey. I'm a knitter, crocheter, maybe sometimes some other sorts of crafts. From southwest of England. I live here I live in Devon with my husband and my 3 daughters who are age 16, nearly 17, 16, 11 and 9. You can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as Heartmoor, and I'm active on both of those platforms, and obviously here on YouTube. It has been a little while since I last recorded. Like I said, I think it was October, and I wasn't sure if I was going to come back and do another podcast. The reason it's been so long is, so I did one in October, and then I recorded a podcast about a week before Christmas last year. And when I went to upload it, my phone was just like, no, not working, can't have it, can't do this. And I was just like, oh, my phone's ringing. Hang on a second, better answer that. And rudely, that was my husband calling, which a joy of joys. Really, that was my husband calling in the middle of my first podcast in like 10 months. Thanks. Yes, so I recorded a podcast for Christmas. It didn't work, and I was just like, no, can't do it. Can't do this again. It's Christmas, not happening. And then in January, I work at a school, a big secondary school, and in January I got a promotion or a new role to sort of be one of the business leads at the school. And I now work full time, which I didn't before. I was working sort of school hours, 9:30 till 2:30. But since January or end of January, I've been working full time. And it was exhausting, absolutely exhausting. And I just haven't had the energy to film a podcast. I've just, every spare minute I've had, been like, oh my God, get my knit in. Must knit, because I want to knit. But I just didn't have time to film a podcast. And luckily, as part of my role, I still get some of the holidays off. So this summer I was like, do you know what? I've got some time. It's 6 weeks summer holidays. I'm sure I can film a podcast. And it's been pretty busy with the kids, and we've been on holiday and all sorts of things. But my husband this morning has left to take sorry, I keep fidgeting with my hands, excuse me. My husband has left to take my 3 girls camping for the weekend. I thought, you know what? Let's just film it. If I put it out there, I put it out there. If I don't, I don't. But let's just do it. See if anyone watches. I think I still have some subscribers that have stuck with me since October, so thank you very much if you have. And if you're new here, then welcome. I hope you enjoy what I have to show you. And my husband was just calling then because he's left his wash bag here, and he had to buy all new stuff in Sainsbury's, which is wonderful. Extra cost for the holiday. But he's going camping with with his brother and my niece and nephew. They go every year, sort of just the blokes and the kids. And it turns out that his brother has left all of his and his children's clothes at home. So they have no clothes at all, apart from what they're wearing. So even better. And they've just travelled 2 hours down to the very southwest of Cornwall. So they won't be coming back to get it. So don't know what's going to happen there, but not my problem today. Okay, so yeah, this is a standard kind of podcast format. I'm kind of starting fresh. There's no point. I've knitted quite a lot this year. I've bought a few things, finished things. So what I thought I would do is I've got a couple of recent finished objects that I will show you, and I have just a couple of active acquisitions. I'm generally a monogamous knitter. I normally only have 2 or 3 WIPs, works in progress, at a time. So I've bought those to show you, and a couple of my most recent acquisitions. And I just want to try and keep this short-ish, not shortish. Yeah, I don't want it to be too rambly. And we'll see where we go. If you get to the end of the podcast and you like it, then that's great. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and we'll see. Hopefully another one might come in a month or so's time. Okay, let's get started before I just drive everyone away with my complete and utter drivel. So finished objects. Let's start with what I'm wearing. So this is I'm sat in my living room and we're in the process of decorating. So my chimney breast is all pot plaster. I'm painting my fireplace, and there's not much furniture in here. And I'm hoping the light's okay, because it's all glaring off of the lighter walls and stuff. So I hope the light's okay. So I am wearing the cardigan, which is a pattern by Rebecca from the Crea Bear. And this is knitted in 100% British wool, 4-ply by cone by Woolyknit in navy blue. Try and get a bit closer. And it's this beautiful lace pattern. You might be able to see it. I've got a white t-shirt on, so I won't be keeping this on the whole episode actually, because it's quite warm today. You can see the beautiful lace pattern on the arms. I've done it it's a nice length. I don't usually wear cropped things, and I've done this cropped so I can wear it with dresses at work. Let me push you back a bit. Excuse me. And I will show you it a bit better, and I'll do it up. You're going to see the mess on my couch now. So yeah. So it kind of goes to, nearly knocked over my squash. Excuse me, let me just move that to one side. Let me move you back a bit more. Oh God. You can tell it's been a while. I'm not very professional. I'm just moving you back. Bye. Yeah, so there it is. It's quite cropped. So this is my waist. If I can find it, yeah. That's my waist. That's where the cardigan comes to. It's a really, really beautiful length. You can see just at the back. If I was wearing a dress, it would hug in really beautifully. I'll do it up. It does do up. I don't wear my cardigans done up, but yeah, I kind of made this to wear with dresses to work. So it's a bit smarter. So that's why it's cropped. So it'll fit sort of nicely with my waist with my dresses. And let me kneel down on the floor so you can sort of see where it comes in. Obviously I've got a white t-shirt on. These are the buttons. Oh, where's the camera? Really beautiful buttons. They were my great aunt's, and she handed me a button tin when she died, and before she died, not when she died. I inherited her button tin, and yeah, so I've got these beautiful silver buttons on the front. Let me undo it because it's not at its most flattering with a white t-shirt and a pair of paint-stained jeans. And then I will bring you in a bit closer. Right, there we go. Fine. Hi. Okay, so yes, I'm so out of practice. There's two options in the cardigan pattern. There's the V-neck, or there's more of a rounded neck. I went for the V-neck because I found it more flattering. Obviously, I won't be wearing it with a white t-shirt generally, because of the lace pattern. It's quite holey and it's quite obvious to see, but yeah, really happy with this. It's super warm, being 100% wool, and it was a very easy pattern. It was a very mindless, memorizable lace pattern. So once I'd done a few rows, I didn't need the pattern to sort of like knit. Once I got past all the increases and stuff, I didn't need the pattern to sort of knit. It's a really good fit. I think I knitted the 4th size. It's on my Ravelry project page. I do put details on there. But it is, you can see it's fitted. There's not, bunches of ease or anything like that. And again, that's the fit I wanted because I want to wear it over dresses at work and I want it to be a bit smarter. So yes, that is the Corin cardigan, which I love. I'm going to take it off now because I'm quite warm. So have another 2 finished objects, and they're both socks. After knitting a garment, I generally sort of go into sock mode because I just need a quick and easy mindless snip in between a garment. Right, let me bring you back in. There we go. So what should we start with? Let's start with this one. This is in, I don't use a lot of project bags. I tend to just keep things in a massive basket down by the side of my chair because I don't have a lot of whips. I don't put them in project bags very often, but this is in the lovely Harriet, who is made by Stitched by Mrs. D, Paula. And I love Harriet. She's so soft. She's very well behaved and she looks after my knitting wonderfully well. She's never caused any problems or ripped out any wool. So well done, Harriet. And here, this is a pair of socks. Oh, I forgot my sock blockers. Hang on a second. I'll go and get them. Okay, sock blockers found. They're not the best sock blockers. They were free with a magazine. So I think they're just a small sock. So they don't display mine very well. But let me put these on the sock blockers, or at least put one of them on. So, right, here we go. Oh no, I've shown you the side with all of the stitch markers on. Here is my finished socks. This is a self-drafted colourwork pattern. It's the first time I've done colourwork socks, and I just fancied having a go at, yeah, just making it up. They are knitted in, I do have 2. Oh, there's a needle stuck in that one. Hang on. I do have 2. And let me find the yarn. So, I do have some left. So these are knitted on 2.25 needles. I used DPNs apart from the colourwork, and I used a circular for that. I still used a 2.25 for the colourwork, but I turned the sock inside out and I knitted really loosely, and it fits. I think next time I would go up to a 2.5 for my colourwork and keep the sock on a 2.25 or whatever it is. I'd go up a needle size anyway for my colourwork next time, just to make sure that it fits when it's washed, blocked, etc. But it does fit me. They are for me. The yarn is, there it is, there's the cream and like a light grey. That's a pretty accurate colour. It is like a, yeah, it is a cream and grey. And that's what I used. And that is, so the cream one, they're both by the Fibre Co, both Amble by the Fibre Co. And the white one is called White Heather. And they are, what's the composition? They're both 4-ply, or fingering I should say. Fingering weight, 325 meters per 100 grams, 70% wool, 20% alpaca and 10% nylon. And the grey doesn't actually have a colour on it at all. It doesn't even, yeah, it doesn't have it on, but it's exactly the same yarn. It's just Amble by the Fibre Co. So that's what the yarns are. And these are the socks. And yeah, so I do 20 rounds of 2x2 rib. I cast on 64 stitches. Then I reduced it to 60 for the leg because the stitch pattern was a 12 round repeat. So I reduced it to 60 in the first row after the cuff. Then I knitted 5 or 6 rows before I went into some colour work. And again, I've just striped it 2, 2, 2. Then I've done the colourwork pattern, which I just sort of, you know, found in a book somewhere, one of those pattern books. Did some more stripes, came down with a slip stitch, heel flap and gusset, and knitted all the way and did a wedge toe. So yeah, really happy with those. I have recently purchased, what's her name? Sarah Lee? Oh, I'm on my phone, I can't check. Colourwork Cuff Club. You might have heard of it. And she's basically releasing, so you pay like a yearly fee and every month you get a new colourwork pattern just for here on a sock, which you can just plug into your own vanilla recipe if you want. So I have bought that, so I'm going to try a bit more colourwork, but I quite enjoyed making up my own design really. Yeah, I think they're quite pretty and look forward to wearing these this winter because they're quite woolly feeling. So I like those. So that is those. The next pair of finished socks. So every year, so if you've been following my podcast for a while, you'll know that I knit of my family, my immediate family, so me, my husband and my 3 girls, a pair of socks for Christmas Day every year. And then on Christmas Day we wear them, and they're, yeah, I enjoy doing that. Normally there's a theme, so one year it was striped, another year it was DK. Last year I did DK but woolly wool socks. I held a strand of like really thick, really woolly wool with a strand of like normal merino nylon to make them extra thick. Yeah, so I do a different theme every year, and this year I've decided to do shorties because it saves me time, and shorties and stripes. So I have finished one pair for my youngest daughter. Are these going to go on the blockers? Oh yes, blockers are made for kids. So where are we? Yeah, here they are. These are just used to count how many stitches I've got to make sure that the socks are the same. So I have 2 socks, and I absolutely love how these have come out. So this is a sparkly red from a mini left over from the Yarn Badger. Every year she does like a Christmas self-striping set, and I think a couple of years ago it was the Muppets Christmas Carol, and the red sparkle was part of the mini for that, so I had some leftovers. So I did 10 rows of 2x2 rib, 10 rows before I did the heel flap and gusset, knitted all the way down till I was sort of roundabout nearish the toe, and then I've just striped. That's not the right, that's why I've changed the colour, it's prettier on this side. And then I've just striped 2, 2, 2, 2 in 2s, and done and gone into the toe. So 1 pair of shorty socks for my youngest for Christmas, and these were knitted on 2.5mm DBNs, and that's my normal standard 2.5. I just prefer knitting on those, and I find they fit us really well. So that's the first pair. And then I have cast on a second pair for my other youngest daughter, so that's for the 9-year-old. These are for the 11-year-old, and I've only just, oh, and I knitted those in tandem. It's the first time I've ever done that. So normally, because I don't split my ball of yarn, I can't really knit them in tandem because I can't be bothered to pull from the front and the middle, and I can't be bothered to split. So, but for that one, because I had the colour work, I was able to cut off. I mean, I didn't do them fully in tandem. I sort of like did to the colour work, and then I did the other one. Yeah, kind of. So I'm kind of doing it in tandem. These ones I'm not, because I need the ball of yarn for the whole sock. Oh, and I didn't tell you what the main colour was. That's because I forgot. The main colour is a one-of-a-kind. They're coming up a little bit. They're a bit paler on camera. They're coming up a bit brighter. It's a one-of-a-kind from Blue Fern Yarns, just a 75/25. It's not got a name, it's just a one-of-a-kind. It's really pretty, like a pale, the background is like a pale pink, and then it's got these speckles. I'm trying not to cover my mouth. It's got these speckles, so, and I'm using the same, here it is in the ball. It was left over from my Hokey Locatelli lace, some fade boxy. I used it for that. And I do have a label actually. Let's find the label. Here we go, Blue Fern Yarns, and it's just one of a kind on her platinum sock base, which is 75/25. Oh, drop that on the floor. I'm trying not to poke my boobs with a DPN, so excuse me. And I have started a sock for my other daughter. So this one is slightly different. I cast on, again, exactly the same. Oh, I cast on 56 for those. Cast on 56 stitches for this one. 2x2 rib. And then I've gone into some stripes with a leftover Beehive Yarns mini. I think I made an Oslo hat for my girls in a couple of years ago. There it is. Oh, where's the camera? Nice. I can't work out where the camera is. This is awful. I'm going this way. You know when you you know when you're driving a car and you look in your rear view mirror to reverse, but you have to turn the wheel the opposite way to what you expect to go. So when you want to go left, you have to turn it right. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I can't get myself lined up. I want to move it that way, so I'm moving it that way. Anyway, it's a leftover mini by Beehive Yarns, and yes, so it's exactly the same background yarn. The leftovers by Beehive Yarns. Blue Fern Yarns is the main thing. And on this one, everyone's been talking about these garter ridge heels, and I don't like it. I've done it, but I don't like it. So for the next pair of socks I won't do a garter ridge, I'll just do a normal slip stitch. And my plan is to knit, repeat this stripe pattern at the toe, just before the toe again. So yeah, that'll be a pair of shorties for my middle daughter. So I've only done one so far, but should have those finished by the end of today and cast on the second one, which is good. Actually, I'll leave those out because I'm currently working on those. So I've only got 2 other works in progress because, like I say, I only work on a couple at a time. I have got others, I'm just not active on them. So I wanted something mindless to do, and I've been wanting to do like a scrappy project for ages. I've got quite a lot of yarn stash, you know, minis and single 4-ply skeins that I just need to use up. I want to get more sweater quantities, because that's what I prefer knitting now, garments and the odd sock. I also prefer knitting non-superwash socks, so I'm starting to build up a collection of non-superwash sock yarn. But I've got a lot of superwash sock yarn that is great for the kids and stuff, so I want to use that up. So to try and use up some of my scrap yarn, ages and ages ago I started I suppose a Cozy Memories blanket. I mean, there's loads out there. A mitered square blanket, Cozy Memories. There's loads of different patterns for it, this sort of style blanket out there. And I think I'm doing, pattern-wise, I think I'm doing an amalgamation of like 5 or 6 different, no, not 5 or 6 different, an amalgamation of the different patterns in the way I'm doing it. So I'd done the bottom 8 squares about 3 years ago. I have absolutely no idea who any of these yarns are by. I've just got a bag of scraps, which I've had for like several years. Some have been swaps, some have just been leftover projects, and I have no idea what any of these are. So I'm just plugging them all in to my thing. So I've done these 3 this week. So I've picked this back up again, and again, yeah, it's a mitered square blanket. Super simple. I'm using 2.75, I think, or 2.5. I don't know, I haven't measured them. They're these needles were my gran's, and they don't have any sort of standard measurement. They're called a size 12, but I don't know what that is. That's not like US terms or anything. So I think they're either a 2.5 or a 2.75. And yeah, I'm just started having a go at this again. I'm going to plug my way through. I am doing 46 stitches because I think that's what's on the original pattern, but for my increases or decreases, for my decreases, I'm doing knit 2 together and then knit 2 together through the back loop, which is from another pattern. So yeah, like I say, a slight amalgamation of patterns, but yeah, so I've been working on that, so expect to see that one grow over the coming weeks, and hopefully if I podcast again, you will see some more added. So pop that one away. So that's my scrappy project. And the last active project that I'm sort of working on is a garment. And this is the Petit Knit Storm Sweater. You might have heard of it. I'm doing the large size. There we go, I've got the printout. So that's the storm sweater, that's a picture of it. I've got a picture of the back of it here as well because it shows it off a lot better. And it's basically a textured, it's all sort of, where is it? You can see it's like rows of textured pattern. It's all knits and pearls. There's nothing complicated to do. And I am using, let's get the project. I am using the new, so Woolyknit launched their new DK 100% wool cones this year. And I thought I've got to try it. So I've bought this beautiful pink. Let's see, what's the colour? Yeah, I think that's pretty accurate. A nice sort of muted, it's not too cerisi, but a nice pink. And this is in the colour Blossom Pink. Yeah, DK British wool, 500 gram cone. This I bought two. I'm still on the first one, so used, you know, I've still got a fair amount left. So I bought two of those, and I don't gauge swatch, or I haven't yet. Making the size large, which I think is the 5th size. Is that what it is? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 5th size, because I like it oversized, and it's designed to be oversized anyway, but I want it oversized. And I have finished the body. Here we go. Oh, look at that beauty. Look at that. I sort of steam blocked this corner here. You can see the pattern, how it's sort of come out. Isn't that beautiful? That's better on this side. I'm trying not to, my arm is creating shadows. So there's sort of like 5 different types of patterns. You've got this ribbed one, you've got this crisscrossy one, you've got this diagonal one, and then you've got like this random pearl dotted one. Yeah. So, and then it just repeats again with the rib, etc, etc, etc. So I have finished the body, and I have picked up for the first arm, and I'm just sort of on the 2nd pattern repeat of the arm, doing decreases as I go. I'm knitting it to pattern. I haven't changed anything. I'm knitting the needle sizes suggested. Yeah, and it's a lovely fit. I don't know if I'm going to get that on my arm. Let me see if I can try it on. It might only be one arm. It might only be a one arm try on. Because I don't think I'm going to get my arm through there without, oh, it's tight. I'm not pulling stitches off my needles. I don't want to pull my needle stoppers off. I've got really big forearms. Yes, so yeah, it's a lovely fit. Push it back a bit. It goes right down to, comes down to my hips. So, and obviously once it's blocked, it'll be really, really lovely. So I'm just gonna get that back over my elbow because that's cutting off my blood supply. And I would hate to faint on camera because I've got no blood left in my arm. Right, hang on. It's tricky. There we go. Don't lose any stitches. So I absolutely love it. Can't wait to have it finished. I've just stalled a bit on the arms because it's short circumference and it's pattern, and yeah. And you do need to look at for most of the pattern repeats, I don't need to look, but 1 or 2 of the pattern repeats, I do need to look at the pattern and the chart and mark it off as I go. So it's not mindless, and it's fiddly, and I'm preferring my socks. Yeah, I don't really have anything else to say about that. It's yeah, I do like the yarn. It is a woolly yarn, but in the winter I'll be wearing it over the top of vest tops or t-shirts or something like that. It'd be perfect with a pair of jeans. That's really sort of my everyday wear, is a pair of jeans and a nice baggy jumper. So, and I love this colour. I think everyone's talking about their colours, you know, having their colours done. And I actually had mine done when I was at school. When I was about 15, my mum had a colour party, and I was allowed to partake. And my colours are winter, which I know. Beautiful dual colours and pinks and blues and reds and things like that. So yeah, it's a nice colour on me, and I'm really excited to have this in my wardrobe and wear it this winter. But I've got to crack on with the arms. Today is the 29th of September. Oh my God. The 29th of August, and it is on Thursday, and it is September on Sunday. And for me, that's awesome. Like, September hits, it's autumn, I'm good. So yes, that is my plan, to get that finished. I'm also halfway through making the Rivendell by Starry Nordland. I haven't brought it with me today because I haven't knitted on it a while. That the Petit knit one. Oh yeah, the storm sweater sort of took over my mind, and I just sort of worked on that one. So when that one's finished, I'll get the Rivendell back out and finish that one, and then I'll have 2 nice jumpers for this winter. Right, so acquisitions. I've only bought 3 with me. Obviously the Petit knit, the storm sweater yarn, the Woolyknit, the cone is a new one, so that's an acquisition. And I have bought a little bit of yarn this year. I don't buy loads, but I went to Cold Harbour Mill, which is in Devon, and I bought a few skeins of yarn there. I've got one here to show you, and I've bought a couple that I've seen online. I've also got, coming for Christmas, I've ordered the Advent from the Raw Wool Company, which I'm really, really excited about. It's their first one that they've done, and I love their yarn. I've used it for my weekend hat, and I've got another skein upstairs that I haven't used yet. I've also ordered Giddy Knits for Sundays of Advent thing that she's doing. I don't know what that is. Something, I can't remember what it is. I think it's inspired by a Christmas film. I don't know, can't remember. And I've also ordered the Yarn Badgers Christmas yarn for this year, stripy yarn sock sets. So I've got some Christmas things coming, and this next weekend, so the 6th and 7th September, I'm going to the Southern Wool Show with my lovely friend Cherie from the Ollie and Bella podcast. You might have heard of her. Yes, and so we've booked to go overnight to the Southern Wool Show in Newbury. So we're going up on the Friday on the train, having a good old knit and natter. We've booked a hotel, so we're staying overnight, have some dinner, and then we'll go to the Wool Show on the Saturday. And I want to get some more sort of sock yarns, and yeah, just have a good sort of rummage round. I think it's the biggest yarn show I've been to. I've only ever been to like one yarn show, and that was quite local and quite small. I think there's like 85 vendors at this one. It's going to be massive. And there's loads of people going that I sort of either know through Instagram or have met before. So yes, excited to say hello to lots of people that I might see there. If you're going, yeah, let me know, and it'd be good to say hi. But yeah, so I'm excited for that. Right, let's show you the acquisitions I've got here. So this one I bought at the Cold Harbour Mill, and it was a yarn festival, but it was all about natural wool, so from the sheep right through to the skein. And there was lots of fleeces there for sale, lots of spinning, lots of natural yarn dyers. And I picked up this one from Bluebell Yarns. Let me see, I'll go that side. From Bluebell Yarns, hand-dyed British yarn, and it's this beautiful sort of soft blue colour. It's called Faded Denim, actually, which it totally is, Faded Denim. It's fingering weight, and it's 100% Falkland Corriedale, spun in Yorkshire, dyed in Dorset. 100 grams is about 400 metres, and I'm really excited. I've been working my way through slowly from the 52 Weeks of Socks book from Liner magazine, the first one, and I've knitted the first socks in the pattern, first pattern in the book, and I just want to knit more sort of textured, lacy, cable type socks, and I want to use all natural sock yarns for the patterns in that book. So that's why I want to sort of expand my collection of those. And then the next 2 I bought just because I saw them on Instagram and got totally enabled and fell in love with the colourways and had to have them. Not non-superwash yarns at all. They are superwash merino sock yarns. God knows what I'm going to do with them, but I had to have them. So this one is by Dandelion and Dogwood. Oh, can you see that? Dandelion and Dogwood. And it's, oh, look at that beautiful. Look at those beautiful colours. Blues, pinks, yellows, greens, turquoise, speckles. It's really beautiful. And this one's called Simple Times. I think it's a Taylor Swift sock. I'm not really a big Taylor Swift person, but I think it's something to do with Taylor Swift. So it's called Simple Times, and it's 80% superwash merino and 20% nylon. 375 meters per 100 grams. So it will either become a pair of socks or some colour work in a sweater. That's because such beautiful colours, I think it would look really, really beautiful with some colour work. So maybe. And the last one I thought to show you is from Giddy Yarns. And this is her logo, Get Lost in a Good Yarn, because she likes to read a lot as well, and I actually like to read a lot too. So that's from Giddy Yarns, and it's this beautiful, is that going to show? I need to cover my face, there we go. And it is called Mr. Badger. So this is from her, I'm forgetting everything. What's it called? The Badger and Moley and Ratty. It's from that story where they live in the river. I can't think. If you're screaming at me, yeah. It's 75% polyester merino, 25% nylon, and it's a 50 gram and a 20 gram. So that's enough for a pair of socks for me. And this will be socks, but just not yet. I'm working my way through some of my older stash, so this will be sitting for a while, waiting until I feel like knitting myself a pair of socks in these. What's it called? No, it's gone completely. Put it down below if you remember, because, you know, you're probably getting equally frustrated with me as I am with myself. And that's it. That's all I'm going to show you today. Hopefully I'll be back. If you'd like to see me back, then yeah, like and subscribe. That would be wonderful. I might come back anyway, even if you don't, but you know. And yeah, my plans are to keep working my way through the family Christmas socks, work on my cozy memories blanket when I have some spare time, finish off the 2 sweaters I've got on my needles, and I want to make a little shawlette. I've got the Sari Nordland new book that she released. Oh God, I don't know if this is like some sort of early menopause or something, or menopause, maybe not early, I am nearly of that age. I'm just really struggling to remember stuff. It's got to be something to do with that. Doesn't bode well, does it? Softly Timeless Knits, maybe that's something like that. And there's a little shawlette in there, so I want to make that soon. I want to make more garments. There's so many out there. I want to make a nice red cardigan, I think, for Christmas. A nice big oversized red cardigan. So if you know of any really good oversized cardigan patterns that fit really well on the shoulder, I'm not too worried about doing that, but I want something that fits really well, cozy, comfortable, not too tight, something I can just shove over a t-shirt and jeans or something like that. So yes, I'm not going to make too many extensive plans because I'd like to wing it a little bit. I've got quite a large queue on Ravelry, so every now and then I'll just sort of have a look through. Oh, and I want to make the brioche hat by Andrea Mowry. I bought the pattern for that when she had a sale last year, and I haven't cast it on yet. Yes, so that's my plans. Thank you very much if you've got this far. I'll do a little bit of live stuff if anyone's interested, because it's been like a year and obviously things have happened. Yeah, I got a new job in February, which I mentioned earlier. It's a lot more responsibility, managing sort of like the operations and things of the school. So I'm a busy person, working full-time hours now. So my husband takes my girls to school in the morning, and then we've got various other plans after school. So sometimes family pick them up, sometimes they're in a club. But my middle girl starts secondary school in September, and my eldest has just done her GCSEs and she's going to a new college. So I can have 3 different kids at 3 different schools. So I'm not sure how I'm going to manage that, but I'm sure I will. I use my Google Calendar for absolutely everything in life, and I have to look at it every single morning just to work out what we're doing. So life is going to be pretty busy. We went on a family holiday to Morocco at the end of July, which was wonderful. Very, very hot. I didn't see any yarn in the market. I didn't have the energy to go. It was about 50 degrees, 47, 50 degrees in the market that day. And I was just like, nope, I'm not going to go hunting around the market for yarn. If we asked someone, then you had to pay them to show you, because that's just how it works in the markets. So I just bought myself like this, I just bought myself this giant basket, which I keep all my knitting in now. Some jewellery, a new leather bag for work. We bought a new poof and picture, and the kids had some trinkets and stuff like that. Yeah, my mother-in-law's ringing me now, and I bet she's going to come round, get the wash bag for my husband and take it down to him in Cornwall, because that's what she does. Hang on a second. Yeah, that was mother-in-law. She's not coming to get the wash bag because my husband's bought new stuff, but she is going down there tomorrow to take all of my brother-in-law's clothes down camping. So she was just ringing to tell me that she's going on holiday soon and she can't look after the kids one day after school. So that's absolutely fine. I'll put that in the diary. Yeah, I was just saying about Morocco. We had a wonderful time. We went with some friends. It was very hot. We spent a lot of time in the pool. It was too hot to sunbathe. Second half of the week, it was down to about 35. And I can tolerate that. I can get in the water, get out. It's a lovely temperature. 45, no, much too hot. Even the girls, we were spending the morning in the pool, in the afternoon in the hotel, sort of napping, playing cards. And then in the evening, we'd go back out again and maybe do a bit more in the pool. There was a water park on site, have dinner, do the entertainment and go to bed. So we were in bed by 10 as well. So it was nice. It was really good. The food was amazing. I love that kind of food. Moroccan food is fabulous, and there was so much food. It was all freshly prepared. You could see them cooking it in front of you. Yeah, breakfast, lunch, I ate so much. We went to the market, like I said, in the daytime. We also went back again in the evening, where they have, the square is full of sort of entertainment, musicians and all that. You know, there were the sort of the snakes and the monkeys and stuff, which I don't know, I don't like as much, but we got some fresh juice and like a pastry, and wandered around the markets at night, which was a different experience. And we did a camel ride. I have been on a camel before, a few years ago, when I went to Africa with my husband, but the girls had never been on one and they were desperate to get on a camel. My middle daughter had bought a camel teddy and a camel necklace and camel earrings, and she was like, so it was my birthday while we were out there. And so we went on a camel ride on my birthday, which was lovely. Really enjoyed it. Yeah, so we did Morocco, and otherwise my life's been pretty boring. Like I say, we're decorating the living room at the moment. It's going to be, if I can find the tin of paint, hang on, it's just over there. Wait a second. So it's been like this. This was wallpapered. Above the chimney was all wallpapered, and the chimney breast is like a pine colour. So I'm painting that white, ripped off the wallpaper, and then the rest of it's been this sort of beige colour. And we've been here 10 years and we've never decorated this room. But recently I won a competition on Facebook to have our floor. We got original floorboards, and the house is 1904, so Edwardian, English Edwardian, and we won a competition to have the floorboards sanded. We've got carpet at the moment, so we were like, you know what? The floor will be sanded and beautiful. Let's just paint the walls and have it all wonderful. So we're going for a colour called Ivy Sky, and it's this really beautiful bluey green. It's dark green, but it's definitely, I can see the swatch on the wall up there, which is where I'm looking. It's got a blue undertone rather than a yellow undertone, I suppose. So it's a really beautiful dark colour, and all the walls are going to be that colour. We have got quite a high picture rail. I'll just move you up. Can you see? So the picture rail will stay white, the ceiling will be white. We've got large bay windows here, which take up almost all of that wall. And this side we've got, let me show you, double doors. Oh, there's the paint samples. And we've got large double doors. So although it's going to be a dark green, there is quite a lot of white, like the big doors will be white, and we've got the big windows, fireplace, the normal door, and the whole of the ceiling and the sort of the above the picture rail, the frieze I suppose, will be white as well, so it won't be too domineering. And the floor's going to be stained, it's natural varnish, back to oak, so it won't be too dark. So that's going to be exciting. So that's happening middle to end of October, so possibly when I record again it might be different. Yeah, okay. It's been really lovely to talk to you. I hope you're all doing really well. Thank you so much for watching this podcast and putting up with my interruptions and my rambling and my overall nervousness. And I'm moving my hands a lot, but they're behind you. You might just keep seeing the tips of my fingers. So apologies if that's been irritating. I'll try not to do it. But I need to go and hang the towels up on the washing line to dry now and get back to knitting my socks. So yeah, hopefully I will see you again soon. Bye.